my role as a veterinary consultant or an animal health consultant, and I'm careful with that term, is to work with the overall farm management system. And our goal in farm management systems is to find a profit on the farm. If we're going to have a sustainable system, our farmer has to make profit, and the farming family deserves to make profit, and they deserve to have a comfortable life with it. And as part of that social contract, also our animal, our cow, deserves to have a happy life, and we must keep that in mind, that cow welfare, how we manage cows through the system, is appropriate for the system. The third part of that contract is the consumer, that consumer feels that the food, the quality of the food that they're purchasing is both safe and it's right for them, and it's their decision. So I think we have three elements to that social contract that we have to keep in mind, and part of my job is to keep that in mind. I'm very conscious from my veterinary background of the state of the animal. Can we make profit for the farmer, and am I making sure that the food quality and food safety is right? And that includes antimicrobial resistance and so on as well. It's our social responsibilities within farming. So that's the overview, that's the big level. I suppose at a more farm level, really what I'm looking at here is that we're profit centric, that we know that we can build or develop a system, a farming system on that particular farm that delivers profit within that circumstance. And that applies in any country. We identify very clearly what's being sold, and then we have a way of getting there to sell that product, and to do that in a cost-effective manner. So we're profit-centric, not what I call margin-centric. Okay, so it's very clear. So there's four elements for me to that when I'm building or designing or developing a farm system. One is the animal itself. Are we putting the right animal in the right system? So is that animal fit for purpose? Have you chosen that animal correctly? Can they survive and manage and work within the environment that you're building around them, within that feed system that you're putting there, and within your skill set as such? So and that's an important consideration, because the animal choice will often determine that health and veterinary outcome, because if the animal is inappropriate. A simple example: 700 kilo Holstein being asked to walk in a grazing system doesn't function without huge support or maintenance support. It's the same way that we have a low producing high solids cow that's been put into an indoor high volume system. It's the same piece. So animal fit for purpose, and the animal's base health being looked after, be it in terms of infectious disease, parasitic disease, or its production disease environment. Are we making sure that the animal fits? The next part of that, and what we're involved in, is the environment we build and put in around the system. So that's going to be the system the animal lives and works in, and the farmer lives and works in also, that they can do it safely. And we look at the work routine in there. Can you get around easy? Can we reduce the labour demand by building the system smartly, and also making sure that animal can work to its full potential within it? So that's a key part, and that applies again in all farm systems that have their different demands. The next part is feed and water management. So, and I always call it management. I really don't call it nutrition anymore, because I think it's a combination of both rationing, getting the diets, the energy, all that correct, and I think we've many people with skill to do that. But the piece is, can we actually get enough of the right diet into the right cow the right way, and are we feeding them appropriately for the profit we're attempting to generate within the system? And so a grass-based system, are we maximising that? Are we getting that grass in, and supplement is coming in to complement that grass system? Or if we're looking at an indoor system, are we really strong on our forage quality? Because forage quality is going to drive everything within that system in terms of cost. The other part of that is how that fits with the environment. Are we making sure that the feed space access, the ability of the cow to access and feed in that system is actually correct? So the last element, and often I put it at the bottom of the diagram, are the people working the system, and that's the farmer and their family, or it could be the workforce or employed workforce in there. But there's only so much people can do, but also people support the whole system. They make both the decisions and they carry out the functions and the work of that system. So have we enough people? Are the people able to do it? And has the system been developed well enough that those people can be rewarded correctly from it. So we have a couple of things to look after there. So if I'm looking at an overall system where it's breaking down, or it's not working correctly, or we're not getting the type of profit we actually need, it's one or more of those four elements are causing issues or causing bottlenecks within the system, or a constraint. And so my job is to see where those constraints are. Are they within the environment, in the feed? Is it people's capacity, the work routines, protocols, and so on? Or is it within the cow health itself? So I must identify the largest constraint and release that, so that we get the largest return from our investment as such. And often the issue is that as vets, consultants, nutritionists, advisors, we sometimes can get focused on smaller issues that have low impact, rather than genuinely finding out what is the biggest issue. So that's the challenge, and I think that's where some of the expertise comes from. So the overall farm system, profit-centric, 4 elements: animal, feed and water management, right environment, and getting the people right.